Hey guys, welcome to Desimartini and my name is Zinia. Today we have with us one of those legendary tennis players whose performance had inspired so many Indians to take up the sport, who had developed our interest in tennis, and his performance also led Indians to give him so many nicknames, not just Indians but worldwide. He is coming out with a docu-drama called The Breaking Point. So yes, no point for guessing that we have with us Leander Paes. Hi, Leander.
Hi Zinia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
So, like I said, I'm meeting you. I'm getting to talk to you. So obviously, I'll be great.
It's my
It's just
pleasure,
so
Zinia.
great to be. Thank you so much. You are so kind. Also, Breaking Point is coming out. It's a docudrama about you and about your relationship with Mahesh Bhupathi. So, the first question would be, why did you decide to say yes to this one?
You know that in the last 20 years, there have been so many offers coming to do a feature film on the Leander Mahesh story, on how champions are built.
Okay.
And in that, it just didn't feel right because Mahesh and I have had a 20-year partnership together. We have
Right.
had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows through 20 years. And I felt that telling that story over 90 minutes or 120 minutes of a feature film would not do it justice. So I felt that doing this story in an episode format where you do a docu-series, that you can tell the peaks and the valleys and the highs and the lows, and actually show the human emotion through it all and inspire the next generation on how to become champions. That was my main motive for doing it, Zinia. And I'm so blessed to have had Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, Nitesh Tiwari, Piyush, and the whole Earth Sky team to come on board to actually so beautifully depict this 20-year journey through a storyboard that will take all our fans and all the viewers through the journey of how two young Indian boys who played gully cricket and gully football barefoot in Calcutta, on how when we had a dream when we were 15 and 16 years old to win Wimbledon and to become number one in the world, how we achieved that. And also to show that how champions are made, but how champions are also vulnerable. Just because you win Wimbledon, you're still a human being. You're still vulnerable to the other nuances of life. So it's a very real story, Gina.
The way you put it, like through each episode would take us through the highs and lows of your career, of your journey. That's very well put. Also, I believe that, like you said, that you have been offered a lot of feature films. I'm also pretty sure you have been offered biopics where people would want to singularly focus on just your life. Because, your life also personally has been through many highs and lows. So, why did you say no to having the focus all to yourself?
Well, you're a little ahead of yourself already because I have not said no to it. This is just Breakpoint is the first one that's coming out. And then after that, there are other stories that will also come out. I think that Breakpoint is very interesting because it is the Leander Mahesh story of the Indian Express on how two Indian boys achieved winning Wimbledon or achieved their dreams. After that, there is so much in my 31-year career to tell that I think it's important to do it one at a time, to take it step at a time. So for me, this is the first one, and I'm really excited about it.
Wow. So thank you for correcting me there. And this is a great news for all the fans who would be watching, because, there's so much more to come. It's not like it's just Breaking Point, but we are going to see more about your life. So that's exciting. That's amazing. Also, when you do a docudrama, and especially when there has been a fallout that has been as discussed as this, then I'm pretty sure that you would have to go through some dark times or revisit some times which you would otherwise not want to. had this experience of working in a docudrama been cathartic or been a little more, pressurizing because you had to relive those times?
I mean, I've been dealing with pressure since I was a young boy, so I don't feel pressure. In fact, when I have pressure on me is when I perform my best. So in that, I think that what was beautiful in Breakpoint is that it gave us a chance to heal. We went up to Rishikesh, where Ashwini Iyer Tiwari took us up there as a location. And in the beginning, I'm like, why Rishikesh? I've not played any tennis matches there. But then when we got up there, she actually showed us the different locations right along the Ganges River. And there were some scenes right in the water where, you're living out 20 years of your history. And as much as Mahesh and myself were shooting separately in different locations along that, we also had a chance to laugh at ourselves. We also had a chance to touch on conversations that were left open. We also were able to get back to conversations that needed addressing. So in that, after 20 years of this history, we have a little more wisdom right now. We have a little more experience. So it was it's been a fabulous journey over the last 18 months, the last 1.5 years of interacting with Mahesh, interacting with the Earth Sky team to actually build this storyboard. But in there also, Zinia, I'm really grateful to Z5 and to Nimisha, who is the head of content, to Puneet, to the whole Z5 team for giving us this platform and really believing in this story. Because when we were teaching, when we were actually thinking about feature films and we're thinking about OTT and we're thinking about which channel and which platform, Z5 came forward and allowed us to tell it in multiple languages to actually reach the masses. And for me, that was very important in the Leander Mahesh story because it is a Tiranga story. It is a story about two Desi boys who have achieved excellence in our craft and shown that we can be number one in the world and India can be the best in the world in our profession.
Right. Okay. Also, you said that, I know I'll be going back to one of the statements that you said. You said that there is much more to come. Would we also see you acting in any feature film that's been offered to you? Because, you have acted before. So you are familiar with the camera. So would we be seeing you acting again?
Not in any feature film that has been offered to me, but really if something comes by and touches my heart and something that excites me, then I'm very passionate about what I do. I think everyone who knows me knows that if I take up a project, that they will get passion, they will get something real, they will get something I'm really focused on. So hence, for me and the brand of Leander, it's about moving the community and inspiring the community, inspiring the youth to be the best that they can be. Because I'm not very talented at tennis. I never was. But I chose tennis as my vehicle to achieve, winning my Olympic medal and emulating my father. I chose tennis to bring happiness to people. I chose tennis as a vehicle to prove that we Indians can be world beaters. So I had to work extra hard because the chips were against me. I don't feel you have to be the most talented human being in the world to be successful. I do not feel that you have to be the most gifted person in the world to be to be successful. But I do feel that you have to be the hardest worker. You have to be the most passionate. And you have to have tremendous belief in yourself and a very solid system where your quality of life, the way you live, your lifestyle has to be geared towards achieving that success. I think with a very good lifestyle and good systems, I think anybody can be world leaders.
Wow. Wow, that's so well put. Also, you had come at a time into the world map when Calcutta was also lagging behind. I had to say this because, I'm from Calcutta. But back then, facilities were also great. Do you see India like moving way forward now with all the technology or all the facility, or are we still stuck back somewhere?
I mean, India is moving leaps and bounds ahead. When you actually look at in my own profession in sport, look at the last 2020 Olympics. I mean, we've won 7 Olympic medals in Tokyo 2020. And look at the Paralympic athletes. I mean, fantastic. Also, if you look at Neeraj Chopra, he won a gold medal in javelin, which is not a main sport in India. And apart from Neeraj, most of our medals are won by women. The women athletes have shone so bright and beautiful. I love that. I think that India is growing so much in sport that actually now the pressure is in Paris. 3 years from now, we need to prove that the 7 medals in the Olympics and the Paralympics that we can do better. So the pressure's on us now, you know. I think that to sustain quality is even harder than achieving quality for the first time.
Right. Also, before we go, I would really ask you that, was there any question that you felt I should have asked, but I missed?
You?
Yes. Some question that I should have asked you, but I missed.
I think you've done a fantastic job. I think you've asked the questions very nicely. And I think that you've touched on all the subjects on Breakpoint. And I want to basically tell you that this show is really real. We've done it very honestly. And along with the Earth Sky team, along with the Z team, I want to thank the collective artist team, which is Vijay Subramaniam and Ashu and their whole team, for doing a fantastic job behind the scenes to be the pillars of the business of Breakpoint, where they actually got all of us together and put everything together and gave us this platform and opportunity. I think that Breakpoint is going to inspire a lot of youth. And you will see that over the next 5-10 years, the kids are going to say that मैंने भी Breakpoint देखे हैं, मैंने लियांडर और महेश का कहानी देखे हैं, और उन दोनों चैंपियन बना तो मैं भी बन सकता हूँ. And I think that's going to stand out. But for me, it's been a blessing to be able to firstly live the last 31 years playing for the country and playing for our people. But now to tell that story with Mahesh is also a great blessing. So I hope that everyone who watches it loves it, enjoys it, and also gets inspired that they can be champions too.
Absolutely. And I would like to also add here that you have already inspired a generation of Indians to, take up tennis and also have their interest in tennis. Like, you were the stars we would watch while growing up. So yes, also this would also push a lot of millennials, I think, towards the sport and towards how champs. But thank you so much, Leander, for joining with us. It was a great pleasure talking to you and having you with us.
Thank you.
So
Dhanyavad, Zinia. Take care.